Hi everyone, Jeff Fontanella here at Fontanella Winery on Mount Veeder. Today we're looking at opening older bottles of wine, some of the tools we might have at home, some tips on how to do it without damaging the cork or getting sediment and things into the wine. So I have here a couple 2010s. So 2010, 10 years in the bottle. The corks are actually not that old, but we're starting to get in that category where we're going to want to take some caution and make sure we look at things. So I've removed the foil from the top, and what we see is that there's no signs of seepage, there's no signs of damage, so that's a really good thing. We probably aren't going to have any issues with this, but if you're kind of have your standard opener and corkscrew, you don't want to just dive in and yank this thing out. You could potentially break the cork. That would be a big rookie move. So there's a couple things. If this is your only tool, that's fine. Make sure you have a high quality corkscrew. You're gonna want to maybe take a little bit of an angle as you drive that corkscrew through there. That'll help you grab more of the cork and kind of keep the grains of the wood intact. So a little bit of an angle. You're gonna wanna go all the way through so that you're not getting maybe halfway down and then separating the top of the cork from the bottom. The preferred tool, if you're concerned about the cork or you have an older vintages, is a different type of opener altogether. It's a different tool. It's called an osso. It's basically a device like this. You can find it on Amazon. It has two prongs that are gonna go around the outside of the cork. It just kind of slips into the bottle this way. These are $10, $20, not a big investment. Great to have one around your house, so I'd suggest opening one or grabbing one of these online. So again, it's an osso opener. There's an older bottle of Chardonnay. You're basically going to slip it in, the long end, the long prong first. You're gonna work it in just on the outside of the cork, right along the glass and the outside of the cork. You're gonna slip the short side in, the other side, and you're just gonna give it a little bit of a wiggle down in there, just gently. Now you could have an older cork, and if you push too hard, you might actually force it down into the wine. So you wanna be very careful and just kind of gently working its way down along the outside of the cork. Now the reason these are great is because it's gonna grab the outside of the cork, it's gonna actually compress it together when you're extracting it, so you have less chance of either shredding or tearing the grains apart or actually the worm screw. Sometimes this can actually bore a hole and tear out loose pieces of cork. So you don't have that risk with an osso. So it's a very gentle way to open an older bottle. Once you've plunged it all the way in, you're gonna start by just giving a gentle twist and lifting very slowly. And you'll see that the cork just starts to lift right out. Really easy way to open a bottle of wine. It also preserves that cork. I don't know if some of you may keep those from some of the special bottles that you open up, but as you just slowly kind of work it out, don't force it, and you'll get your cork extracted. Nice and easy. Now, when the wines get a little bit older than 10 years, say 10, 15 years, the 15-year mark, the 20-year mark and beyond, that's when we're really talking about cork that's starting to get fatigued. It is a natural product. That's when you're gonna maybe wanna get a different tool, very similar to this. This is called a Durand Opener, which is what you can see is a combination of that corkscrew and the osso opener. So what you would do in this case is actually get extra leverage by inserting the corkscrew first. Let's see if I can do this real quickly. Get a nice straight shot into the middle of the cork. Very gently, we're not forcing this down. Just slowly turning it in. Making sure we get it all the way down. Then we use the osso device. The top of the Durand, which is just like an osso. We're gonna work that in around the outside. So if you're opening an older bottle of wine, you see that there's some seepage, maybe it's 15, 20 plus years old, this type of device is going to be a lot more secure than even this at getting that cork out in a clean fashion so it doesn't ruin that wine. So you can see once I've gotten this set up, I have the asso around the bottle, around the cork I mean. I also have the leverage of the corkscrew on the inside. So we've really secured this thing, and then we can kind of slowly work this thing up and out by getting the leverage there. It's just an little extra secure way of doing this. There you go, get a nice clean extraction of the cork. These are preferred. The Durand is great as well. They should get most everything open for you. Now there's other cool ways, there's other cool tools. One of my favorites is this Cordovan, because now you don't even have to worry about taking the cork out of the bottle. You could have a very, prized bottle that's aged. This, the needle here, the syringe will actually enter through the cork, and then you can distribute the wine, and it displaces whatever vacuum you made and volume you've taken out with inert gas. So really cool. So it does a nice job of serving the wine, and if you don't finish the whole bottle, you can keep it for a few days because the headspace is protected from air and the cork is still intact in the bottle. So that's a Cordovan. Really cool tools. But probably the coolest thing that you'll ever see is if someone uses actually a pair of pork tongs to open a bottle for you. These are iron tongs that you would heat up till it's glowing red, as if you were branding something. This will then be placed just below the cork on the neck of the bottle. And let me see if I can show you that. You would actually place this around the neck. The heat would actually score the glass, and then you can actually remove cleanly the whole piece of glass, and you would have a bottle that's just sort of severed just below the cork. So for really old bottles of wine, this is kind of one of those for experts only sommelier tricks or tools of the trade for opening decades old wines, but they're really neat. Something cool to YouTube and check out, but be careful if you're trying to do this at home, because you need to get this extremely hot to actually score the glass and cut it in half. So that is some tips and tools for opening older bottles of wine. Hope you enjoy. Cellar well. Take care.